want to teach my child to think for themselves so that they can be prepared for an increasingly challenging and complex world. What are some of the best ways that I can transmit and teach that skill to my child?
Well, first of all, I don't think kids have any business thinking for themselves. I mean, they're just so little and so young. I mean, you got to teach them how to shut up and listen. Kids cannot be thinking for themselves, and they need to just watch me, watch somebody that's really smart like me, and just pay attention. And if you get it wrong, then tough. Just keep moving. That's what I gotta say.
I want to raise a child who can think for himself, so he's prepared for an increasingly complex and challenging world. What are some of the ways I can best transmit and teach this skill? This is one of my greatest goals as well, raising a child who can think for themselves. To me, your request is not only doable, it's essential to their future. First, here is an easy way. I remind myself to not answer for my child or finish their answers. If someone asks them a question, I wait for as long as it takes. Here's a slightly harder way. Whenever possible, I stop telling them what to do. For example, if Andy has left some of their toys on the driveway, instead of telling them, pick up your toys, I use the teach question tool. Andy, what is your plan for taking care of your toys on the driveway? With an older child and their homework, Pat, what is your plan for this course and how will you accomplish your goals? The above approaches demonstrate a tone of respect versus an attempt to manipulate and control. There's an old child rearing lesson that I have learned the hard way. There's no better way to dumb down a child than to tell them what to do. Worse than that, if I tell them once, I have to keep telling them again and again and again. Remember that old saying, if I've told them once, that's right, I've told them 1,000 times. Yeah, telling doesn't work. Another one of my favorite ways to accomplish your goal of teaching your child to think for himself is to again use the teach question tool to ask for his opinion and ideas on things that come up. Here are a few questions I might use. Sean, what do you think is the best way to handle this? What do you think would happen if we did it this way or this way? Why do you feel this is important to our family? Why is this important to you? All these ideas require me to take a pause, a magic moment. Why? If I let my natural instincts take over, I would probably jump in too soon. After all, I'm older, bigger, and more experienced. Here are 2 surefire ways to destroy any of the ideas above. To not really stop and listen, or to not use the listen tool. Believe me, they know if I'm listening or not. The second way to destroy these ideas above, to jump in quickly with my better idea or my telling and know-it-all ways. Watch how quickly they stop thinking for themselves. A lot of the above is part of a bigger family philosophy. Age appropriate, it's time for me to stop rescuing them, saving them, and micromanaging them. My goal is to teach them to manage their own lives. The sooner we start that process, the better it is for everyone. Another part of this big picture, let them decide and do whatever they can do for themselves at each age, even if they struggle a little bit, or even if things take more time at first. There's another surefire way to help our children learn to think for themselves. Done right, I've never seen this one fail. When we acknowledge our children using the 3 S's of yes, so that each acknowledgement is completely sincere, very specific, and always very selective, they start to see themselves this way even more. And since we go towards our focus, they start to live their lives out of this focus even more. With my niece, my acknowledgement might sound like this: Andrea, I admire the way you answered Sue's question. You really put some thought into it. You are very wise. Did you notice how my acknowledgement was sincere, specific, and selective? On the selective part, I won't give her another similar acknowledgement for several weeks. Why? She'd naturally start to tune me out, and I would lose my ability to positively influence her. All of these proven methods listed above, I've saved the most powerful one for last. I bet you already know what I'm going to say. Yes, over the months and years, they are watching me. Do they see me thinking for myself, or am I just following the crowd? Do they see me checking out new information to see if it's true? To really learn? Do they see me hungering for new things? We call this the model tool. No surprise, I could model a person who thinks for himself, but if I don't use the other ideas discussed above, the model tool would have little effect. Remember that old saying, do what I say, not what I do. Well, it's true. On the other hand, I can use all these ideas mentioned earlier, but if I don't model this behavior, it will backfire. Again, I love your question. In today's world, this thinking person is ready for anything. They can always pick the best options, always create their best day, and always make our world a better place.